That's not by accident, that's by design. The architect here trying to make the building look good in context with the other buildings around us. So they call that contextualism. We'll see more examples of that as we continue on our tour. Now it looks like we do have a little bit of fog rolling in here. I do promise you will see the bottom 2/3 of every building on our tour here today. As you look around at all the different buildings, you're going to see, we're going to jump all over in time on our tour. 2009 with Trump Tower cut across the way. You can see this building from the 1920s. This is Marina City as a city within the city. Apartments up above, valet parking down below. But inside the building, stores, restaurants, fitness center. Used to have an ice skating rink in there. Still has a bowling alley. Used to have a movie theater, which is now the House of Blues. Marina City, an introvert's dream, right? You can live your whole life without ever getting out of your pajamas. Now they call it Marina City because there's a place to park your yacht, which was surprising in the 1960s because this was a very polluted waterway back then. You wouldn't want to spend a copy of this stuff before. It is inspired by the older section of the building. It still respects its architectural heritage, even though there's 60 years between the two sections being built. You get a closer look at the builder's building as we come out from underneath this bridge over on the left. Once you're done on the left, you can cut across the river with me. Take a look at the style of architecture we'll see over and over again today on our tour. This big, wide building on the right. Now let's look at some of the details first. You'll see soaring vertical lines up the surface of the building, leading to little setbacks at the top. With busts of some famous American merchants, names you might be familiar with. Montgomery Ward, Marshall Field, Woolworth, just to name a few. And if you're able to climb up any one of these pillars and you push back real hard on those great big heads, a big hunk of candy comes out of their necks. And that's a Pez joke, just to see if any of you are still box your microwave Hot Pockets in. They call it the Hot Pocket building. The arch at the bottom is to make way for a train line that goes underneath it. Those circular holes you see in the wall there, all exhaust fans for that train line. Now, like I said, most of the buildings around here built in just the last few years. Salesforce Tower on the right here, just opened up a couple of years ago. But the next building I'm going to point out to you is the oldest building I have to show you on the river here today. Right here. This is what the bridges look like when they're up. You'll see the bridge tender houses on the side of them. That's where they used to operate them from. That big slab of concrete in the back is the counterweight, the olive counterweight, whether you can see them or not. Today is a flotilla day. They dry dock the boats during the winter, and on Saturday and Wednesday morning, if you haven't seen the bridge tender houses, this is an example of them. We'll see more of these bridge tender houses as we continue on our tour. Now, as we come out from underneath the bridge, we'll see more examples of changing attitudes towards the river. Only performed in this space for 3 seasons. They had to shut their doors because of the Great Depression. So not a lot of buildings being built in the 1930s, not a lot of buildings being built in the 1940s because of World War II. So it's not till the 1950s that architecture gets a complete reboot. Take a look at the next building on our right. 2 words probably come to mind: black box. That's sometimes what they call this style of architecture, black box modernism. This stays popular throughout the 50s and 60s. It's not till the 1970s that we see even a slight change. As we come out from underneath the next bridge, take a look at the next building on the right, you'll see not much changes. We go from black boxes to white boxes. This is the international style from the 1970s. The idea here, you can put this building anywhere in the world because it ignores the space you put it in. At the start of the film, Heath Ledger is the Joker and his goons bust out a window and zip line across to the roof of Gotham Bank. Well, guess what? This is the building they bust the window out of. Because there it is. That's Gotham Bank from the start of the film. It's actually our old post office. It was abandoned at the time of filming. I always imagine the Joker must have been so upset when he opened up those bags of cash and just found Montgomery Ward catalogs, right? But there really is a connection between that big warehouse space and this enormous post office. Back when Chicago was the catalog company king, we needed a great big down the surface of the river that night that the river caught on fire. Here's how the flames spread across the city. As the fire would burn inside of big warehouses, it would start to suck in air. That creates vortexes. So there were burning tornadoes inside of buildings. City planning, right? That was the cause of the Great Chicago Fire. But like I told you, probably the best thing that ever happened to us, because it's no longer in service. Why don't they just tear those down? Well, these were the largest bridges of their type when they were first built, so they've been landmark status today, so that future generations can see how we built the city before us, right? Respecting our architectural heritage. I don't know if you put this together yet or not, but the entire city is one enormous outdoor museum of architecture. So for the foreseeable future, the bridges will stay just like that. Now here's the final part of our story. Remember the cause of the fire, bad city planning? And we found this amazing planner in Daniel Burnham for the World's Fair. So in 1909, the city of Chicago comes about to do our second turnaround. Before we do, I have one more movable bridge to tell you about straight in front of the boat. This is a vertical lift bridge. As the name implies, that bridge goes straight up in the air on the towers that are next to it. You can see the counterweights at the top of the towers. Those drop down to lift the bridge. Had to come through here earlier today, so this bridge was up today to let those sailboats through. All right, guys, we're going to take a longer break this time to give you as much time as you need to get out of your seats, get your cameras out, take some photographs of our beautiful skyline as we head north on the South Branch. If you have any questions for me, feel free to come over and ask. Once we get back to the more interesting buildings, I'll get back on the mic and we'll continue our tour. I'll see you then. Even better than that, we also have a goddess as part of our skyline. Over here on the right, you can see a silver statue on top of the building with soaring vertical lines and setbacks. It's an Art Deco building. It's an Art Deco statue of Ceres, the Roman goddess of agriculture, which begs the question, why are we building statues of Roman goddesses in Chicago? Chicago dog, onions, tomatoes, relish, pickle spears, pork peppers, celery salt, and mustard. There's only one thing we don't put on a Chicago-style hot dog, and that's you will catch hands if you ask for ketchup. Skip it while you're in town, the bottle's waiting for you at home. If you're looking for a good place to get a Chicago dog, not too far from where we drop you off, there's a restaurant called Portillo's. They do a pretty good job. They also have a great chocolate cake, which they will throw into a shake for a chocolate cake shake. Art Deco. So if you're copying the Art Deco style, they call it over. So you see there's a cross shape at the top of the building where you can look right through it. That's because there's no walls or windows up there. Those are blow-through. Want to alleviate the wind pressure on your building? Let the wind blow right through. Great design solution. Now here's what's about to happen. We're about to head out to the lakefront. Once we get out to the lakefront, we'll over 20 miles uninterrupted, totally public lakefront property, free use for anyone. One of the most popular parts of the lakefront is the after the great Maiden Pier. A lot of fun things to do with the pier. Why? The Ferris wheels for one, yes.